Very good morning, students. Last class we have discussed about applications of equilibrium constant K. Again, I will recall briefly. First application, how to predict the reaction direction. Similarly, how to predict the extent of reaction based on the magnitude. And the third application we was discussed about how to calculate the equilibrium concentration. So last application, in order to understand that application, I have discussed one numerical. Similarly, now I will take one more numerical based on the third application, that is calculation of equilibrium concentration. So second application, let us consider 1 mole of water and 1 mole of carbon monoxide are taken in a 10 liter vessel. So volume of the vessel will be 10 liter and it is heated to 725 Kelvin. Temperature should be taken as 725 Kelvin. That is at equilibrium. What happens? Only 40% of the water by mass reacts with carbon monoxide according to the equation. So at equilibrium, only 40%. 40% means out of 100, 40 will be reactive. Nothing but if you consider one molecule, only 0.4 part will be involved in the reaction. So let us move on to the equation. 1 mole of water can react with the 1 mole of the carbon monoxide gas, leads to the formation of 1 mole of hydrogen gas as well as 1 mole of carbon dioxide gas. This is the equilibrium reaction they have given. So what you should calculate? So calculate the equilibrium constant for the reaction, nothing but you should calculate Kc. So based on the data given, let us consider how to proceed or how to calculate the equilibrium concentration. See, 1 mole of water gaseous, 1 mole of carbon dioxide gaseous leads to the formation of 1 mole of hydrogen as well as 1 mole of carbon dioxide. This is given. Now, what will be the initial number of moles involved in the reaction? As you know, initially time will be taken as 0. At that point, 1 mole of the water can react with the 1 mole of the carbon monoxide. This is according to balanced chemical equation we used to consider at initial point. But at initial point there is no product. That's why we used to take as 0 moles of hydrogen as well as 0 moles of carbon dioxide. But children, you know, as reaction proceeds, it reaches equilibrium. So at equilibrium, what will be the number of moles? So one molecule was taken, some amount of reactant will be reacted, indicated by using or representing X. As you all know, yesterday's class I have discussed. So 1 minus X, initially it was 1, something was reacted, so it should be 1 minus X, 1 mole. Similarly, 1 mole of carbon monoxide, that is also X will be extent of reaction. So based on that, at equilibrium, 1 mole of hydrogen as well as 1 mole of carbon dioxide is formed, so it is taken as X. If 2 mole is formed, you know it should be 2X, but here according to the balanced equation, 1 mole is formed, you have to take X itself. Now you can calculate number of moles. So in this case, in order to calculate number of moles, you have to consider the data given. What they have given? Data. That is, at equilibrium, 40% of water reacts with carbon monoxide. So 40%, as I mentioned earlier, out of 100, 40 will be reacted. Indicates that here in a reaction 1 mole we have taken at the beginning, means only 0.4 will be reacted. So that according to the question, 40% of reaction with 1 mole of water, what we can consider? X will be 40%. That indicates X can be equated to 0.4 moles from the given data. Hence, just you substitute value of X. So based on that, you will get number of moles remaining at the equilibrium. So based on that, 1 was initially taken, X was reacted, so that value of X will be 0.4. So remaining will be 0.6. Now similarly, carbon monoxide also 1 minus x, so that 0.6 will be remaining. So that how much hydrogen and carbon dioxide is produced? X mole. So x value as derived from the given data 0.4 and 0.4. Now what they are expecting? Equilibrium constant Kc. So for the given equation, express Kc. You all know Kc will be ratio of molar concentration of the products. Here products hydrogen as well as carbon dioxide, and divided by product of reactants. Reactants are concentration of water as well as concentration of the carbon monoxide. So just you substitute its value. Children, you know concentration is nothing but, as you know, concentration is nothing but number of moles by volume. So concentration value as directly they have not given, indirect data as they have given, you have to consider concentration is nothing but number of moles by volume. So number of moles with each substance was calculated according to the chart and given data, and volume they only provided it is 10 liter vessel, isn't it? In the data, you read the data or question properly. So based on that, concentration of hydrogen can be taken as number of moles of hydrogen by its volume. Total volume in for all the cases 10. So that 0.4 by 10 into concentration of carbon dioxide is also 0.4 by 10 volume divided by concentration of water will be equal to 0.6 by 10, and the concentration of the carbon monoxide is also 0.6 by 10. The value substituted according to the chart from the data. Now simplify, 10 gets cancelled. So while simplifying you will get Kc value will be equal to 0.44. This is the one of the numerical. Similarly, children, for understanding purpose, I will take one more exercise problem. Let us move on to third problem related to calculation of equilibrium concentration. Important for competitive examination point of view. A vessel at 1000 Kelvin contains carbon dioxide under a pressure of 0.5 atm. In terms of gases, this is this reaction. So some of the carbon dioxide is converted into carbon monoxide on addition of graphite. Calculate the value of Kp if the total pressure of equilibrium mixture is 0.8 atmosphere. So that what they have given, initial concentration in terms of pressure they have given it is 0.5 atmosphere. Similarly, total pressure at equilibrium is also given, that is 0.8 atmosphere. And what they are expecting? Kp. Since it is a gaseous reaction, they are expecting Kp. So how to calculate? From the given data, you write the equation. They have mentioned carbon dioxide at that particular pressure in turn produces carbon monoxide, isn't it? So based on that reaction, we can consider carbon dioxide can react with the carbon produces carbon monoxide. So as they have mentioned initial pressure, I'll consider initially 0.5 atm pressure is found exist in the system because of one molecule of carbon dioxide gas. But as carbon is solid, its concentration will not be considered or its pressure cannot be considered. Even though there is a formation of two molecules initially in the reaction media, no product is available. That's why we used to consider its pressure is 0 atmosphere, right? Now we'll move on to at equilibrium, means as reaction proceeds, it attains equilibrium. Some of the carbon dioxide is getting converted into carbon monoxide. So at equilibrium, 0.5 was the initial pressure, X will be the pressure which was involved to convert carbon dioxide to carbon monoxide. So that 0.5 minus X atmosphere we used to consider. Since carbon is a solid, will not consider. So due to that reaction, how much carbon dioxide is formed? 2 moles of carbon monoxide is formed, so that it will be generally taken as 2x atm. Therefore, total pressure will be equal to is equal to 0.5 minus x plus 2x, that is from the chart. That can be equated to 0.5 plus x, because minus x and plus 2x will be equal to x, as you know. Now children, from the data, total pressure is given, isn't it? Total pressure of the equilibrium mixture is equal to 0.8 atm they have given, so that I will equate 0.5 plus x will be equal to 0.8 from the data. Just rearrange so that you can get x value, so that x will be equal to 0.8 minus 0.5, that is equal to 0.3 atmosphere. What they are expecting? Kp. Write Kp expression. For this reaction, only gaseous reactant and product will be involved, so that partial pressure of the carbon monoxide to the power 2 divided by partial pressure of the carbon dioxide will be equal to the magnitude with respect to carbon monoxide will be equal to 0.6 from the chart divided by 0.5 minus x. See, here you can consider x value will be equal to 0.3, so that 2x value will be equal to 0.6. Its power can be taken, and again 0.5 minus x, that is from the chart as I mentioned earlier. Substitute the value of x, that is equal to 0.3. So rearrange and simplify, you will get finally 1.8 atmosphere. And children, from the textbook 7.9 as well as 7.6 both are solved problems. Once you can refer, in which 7.6 sum or numerical was explained by considering quadratic equation. So as you all know quadratic equation, you can go through it once. Next we'll move on to next concept, that is relationship between K, Q and G. You all know K is the equilibrium constant, Q is the reaction quotient. Similarly, G is the Gibbs free energy. As you all studied thermodynamics chapter in detail, you all know about the term G. G is the Gibbs energy from the thermodynamics you have studied. Again, I'll recall the terms. K is the equilibrium constant, Q is the reaction quotient, G is the Gibbs free energy. So children, here as we have to follow equilibrium constant in terms of thermodynamic principle, or how it will be related to thermodynamics. Very simple. You have to follow Kc is not depending on rate of the reaction, but it is depending mainly on thermodynamic. You should remember, equilibrium constant value does not depend on the rate of the reaction or a speed of the reaction, which mainly depends on the thermodynamics. Because you all studied thermodynamics, you know about the spontaneity and non-spontaneity of the reaction. How? It is mainly based on change in Gibbs free energy, right? So you have studied, just I'll recall. If for a reaction delta G value is less than 0, or in another hand we can say delta G is negative, then reaction is spontaneous or reaction proceeds through forward direction. This concept you have studied, just I am recalling. Similarly, if the delta G value is greater than 0, delta G value is positive in another hand. Reaction is a non-spontaneous, or it can be proceeding in the backward direction, or in another hand we can say product of forward reaction converted to product of the forward reaction converted to reactant. Similarly, if delta G will be equal to 0, reaction is at equilibrium. This concept you have studied already from thermodynamics. But here you should relate how. As a reaction is proceeded, you all know Gibbs free energy goes on decreases, becomes minimum, and there will be no free energy left to further proceeding the reaction. So we used to conclude that reaction state is called as equilibrium state, that is according to thermodynamic principle. Here in case of equilibrium concept we used to relate, but mathematically how we can express, that is very important. Mathematical expression for the thermodynamic view of equilibrium can be given as delta G will be equal to delta G naught plus RT into ln Q. You all know sorry, in this expression delta G is change in Gibbs free energy, delta G naught is standard condition change in free energy at standard states. You all know because you have studied both equilibrium, you have studied both states of matter as well as thermodynamics, so that you all know what is a standard state. So that change in free energy at standard state is delta G naught. R is a gas constant, its value also you all know. In different units we used to use different values. Temperature in Kelvin, Q is the reaction quotient. And let us consider at equilibrium state what will be the delta G value. As you studied in thermodynamics, at equilibrium delta G become equal to 0. So you all know if reaction is at equilibrium, there is a relationship between equilibrium constant K as well as reaction quotient Q. What is that relation? Very simple. At equilibrium, Q of a particular reaction become equal to Kc, or in terms of pressure it will be Kp. Either you can say Qc become equal to Kc or Q become equal to K. So just substitute that concept here for in the above expression. So delta G value is 0 will be equal to delta G naught is as such, RT is as such, and ln Q can be converted into ln K, that is at equilibrium. So since delta G is 0, you rearrange the reaction so that delta G naught will be equal to minus RT ln K. This expression is very important in solving the problem. But children, you should remember the calculation including ln is a bit difficult. That's why what we used to consider the value of ln. That is ln will be equal to 2.303 log. So calculation including log will be very easy. That's why we can also substitute in the place of ln as 2.303 log. Okay, this expression directly used in the numericals, or you can also rearrange this expression as ln K will be equal to ln K will be equal to minus delta G naught by RT, or rearranging you will get K will be equal to e to the power minus G naught by RT. Actually, this final expression will be obtained just by taking anti-log on both the side. So this expression is very important. Here also you can note that ln will be equal to 2.303 log. Children, you should remember this will be the simplified expression for K, how K will be related with respect to thermodynamic principles. Very simple. So now depending on delta G naught value, we can predict the K value. Based on that we can predict which direction reaction can be proceeds. So let us first move on to delta G naught value is less than 0 or it will be negative, right? Less than 0 is nothing but negative. Substitute delta G naught value over here. So e to the power minus delta G naught by RT will be positive because it is negative. Minus of minus becomes plus. So del K value becomes positive. So what we used to conclude, K value will be greater than 1. As you have studied early, K value is greater than 1 indicates the reaction is spontaneous or reaction proceeds through forward direction. Similarly, if delta G naught is greater than 0, then what happens? Delta G naught value will be greater than, means it is plus, then e to the power minus delta G naught by RT will becomes negative. Delta G, this value will be positive, negative from the formula, so that overall will be negative. Therefore, K value will be less than 1, which indicates that reaction is non-spontaneous, or in another hand we can say reaction proceeds forward direction in a very small extent, or reaction takes place in backward direction greatly. That is another conclusion. Another possibility is also you can predict if delta G naught will be equal to 0, K will also become equal to 1. So it represent reaction is at equilibrium. Hope you all found, understood. So delta G naught will be 0, anything to the power 0 will be equal to 1. So K value become equal to 1, represents reaction is at equilibrium. This conclusion is very important. So 3 points whatever I have concluded with respect to delta G less than 0, what will be the K value? Similarly, delta G is greater than 0, what will be the K value and in which direction reaction proceeds, and if delta G naught is equal to 0, what will be the K value and what will be the state of the reaction. That is very important for your competitive examination point of view also. Then children's, you can note one more thing here with respect to this concept, that for a reaction if delta N value is 0, then no change in the equilibrium state or equilibrium position. If the reaction in which number of gaseous moles of product minus number of gaseous moles of reactant is 0, then state of the equilibrium or position of the equilibrium does not changes. In order to understand the last concept, that is relationship between equilibrium constant, reaction quotient as well as Gibbs free energy, let us consider one numerical. That is hydrolysis of sucrose gives sucrose plus water giving glucose plus fructose. Equilibrium constant Kc for the reaction they only given at 300 Kelvin. Calculate the delta G naught value at 300 Kelvin. So direct relation, what you have to calculate? Change in Gibbs free energy under standard condition you should consider. Direct formula about relation, delta G naught will be equal to minus RT ln Kc. Because Kc is given, temperature is given, R is constant we know. So directly we can substitute. Or better, calculation including ln is difficult. So what I used to do, I will substitute ln as 2.303 log. So based on that, formula becomes delta G naught become equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. This is the formula. I will substitute directly. Minus 2.303 into 8.314 into 300, because temperature they have given. This is a gas constant value you all know. Log of 2 into 10 raised to 10 to the power 13. So initially you can simplify all these three terms, but I kept as such. I will first simplify the concept with the log. I think you all know how to check the log. As it is in the exponential form, log can be taken as to the power, that is 13 log 2. Correct? 13 log 2. So 13 will be remains as such. You have to check log 2 by using a log table. So value of log 2 will be equal to 0.3010. So it will be equal to total 13 plus 0.3010 become equal to 13.3010. After checking the log, you have to simplify or multiply directly we'll get delta G naught value will be equal to minus 76,402.8 joules per mole. Or you can rearrange, shifting the decimal point, you can express minus 7.64 into 10 raised to 4 joules per mole. Thank you, children. Other solved problems you can go through possible. Otherwise, one more important numerical I will explain in the next video.